Hello everybody, welcome back to Wolfeei Extras. I yet again forgot that I'm a YouTuber because I've actually been streaming daily now, I think for 4 days in a row? 5 days maybe? I've streamed a lot, at least, recently, and I mean, if you haven't been there yet, twitch.tv/Wolfeei. We did team reactions today, which we're going to talk about today, and more MCC Rising apps. I think tomorrow might be the final day for MCC Rising applications, probably, because I just don't want to overdo it. And I think I've seen a good amount of really good applications and just very solid ones. A lot of the ones that have been submitted are very solid, and you know, you should be proud of yourselves because they're good. They're good videos, and the Nox are going to have a really tough time. Anyways, straight into the MCC teams. This is a very interesting season because first team is very strong. Sapnap, Punk, Puns, and Gumi is the first team, which is obviously a very, very good team. I'm pretty sure this team almost exactly happened, but with Foolish instead of Sapnap, I think. I recall there being a Foolish, Puns, Ponk trio, and I imagine Gumi would have been the fourth, or maybe it was someone else, I don't recall. But obviously, this team is really good. This is a very good team. Sapnap and Puns have both been in debate for being worser than they used to be. Most certainly, Puns, at least according to the community. I don't really want to comment on that because I don't think that's nice, but you know, clearly Scott, to some extent, agreed, I guess, because they're allowed to team, which two quote-unquote S tiers teaming in the past was a thing that nobody really thought was possible, or barely was possible. But here we are. It's happened. Anyways, moving on. That's the red team. Orange Ocelots. Very cool team. Very fun team. You got Pearl, Owen, Jojo, and Amy. I think this is a very fun team. It's also very cracked, I think. I don't know if people, what people's thoughts are on this team. I feel like some people could potentially be underrating this because they don't realize that having Pearl and Amy on your lower end on the team is really strong. Obviously, Jojo and Owen have also... Jesus! Mario Odyssey. Anyways, obviously Owen and Jojo have also shown very good performances thus far, and you know, I'm sure they'll do good again. I think this will be a very fun team. Also, insanely cracked Sands of Time team, like crazy SOT team. Obviously, Jojo and Amy on the same team is already cracked. I don't know how good Pearl and Owen are at SOT, but I imagine they are at least half decent. So, yeah, very strong team. Next up, Yellow Yaks. This is the team that I think is so far the most broken. This team is crazy. You might think, why? Their worst player is Ollie Orion Sound, I think, probably. That's freaking insane. You got Fruit, Shadoon. Shadoon, who, in my opinion, is probably the biggest freebie of a good player you can have on your team now, since his stats are relatively low. He's only played 3 times, in 2 of which his team was really underpowered compared to the other teams, and his team also didn't do too well. Obviously, in his Spanish team, he got 10th, I think, which is closer to what he probably should get, and I think on this team, he should be able to get close to that again. I think this team, depending on the games, obviously, is going to be really cracked. But then again, we've said that about other teams in the past, and then they didn't perform as expected. But in my opinion, Yellow team is wild. This team is really strong. Keep in mind, this is the previous Cyan team that people unanimously said was weak, but not like super bad. And you replace Puffy with Orion Sound, and Captain Gato with Fruit Berries, who is like top 10 ever players in the event. Like, that's crazy. Anyways, Yellow Yaks, excited to see how they will do. I think this is also a very fun team. I think half the team is family friendly, maybe? I think? I'm not sure. I know Sparkles obviously is. I think Shadoon might be family friendly. I could be wrong though. Anyways, cool team. Lime Llamas is next. It's your classic purpled, did purpled get nerfed, purpled nerf, blah blah blah. Who cares, right? Fun team, I think here. Gucky, Ollie Gamers, purpled, and Sniff. All around, very fun team. A lot of people need to stop taking the top players as the main character and then kind of disregarding the rest of the team. I think that's just a little rude and just not necessary. I understand the thought process behind it. but you just, some things that you think about shouldn't be said out loud, you know? Some things you can keep to yourself. Anyways, I think this will be a very fun dynamic. It's very, very comfy, cozy vibes. I think Purpled obviously will try. I know Purpled's challenged himself to become the best player in every regard now, so I'm sure he's going to be a very good team leader, or at least try to be, alongside already being a very cracked individual player. I think Ollie has obviously some skill up his sleeves that might have not been shown yet. I think he is very good. Obviously, I think Squidcraft won the first Squidcraft, or something like that. So there's some skill in there at least, and I'm sure he can apply that to MCC. Gucky, fellow MCC nerd, which she titled herself, to my understanding at least. Also here to bounce back from her last event. I think it'll be very interesting to see how Gucky will perform now that she has a little bit more experience on her hands. I think she can do really good. And Sniff is also a little bit of a wild card. Sometimes Sniff frickin' shows up with a performance that people are like, oh my god, that's crazy. So who knows? We'll see how this team does. I think this will be a very fun team to watch. Anyways, next up, the final team for day one, the Green Geckos. You got Michaela, Krinios, Phil, and Rambu. I think this is a very fun team. Unfortunately, potentially the last event we'll see Rambu in, until maybe like if there's like a non-canon event of some sorts. But who knows? I mean, it's not been confirmed that he won't be playing after this one, but I know that he did have a motivation to play again to show off his crown during the event. Obviously, coming off of a win last event, his first and potentially only win, depending on if he can, wants to play further. And yeah, I think this is a very fun team, very good team. Like nothing too OP, but also most certainly not a bad team. It's very good in my opinion. Phil obviously is cracked. Rambu's cracked. Krinios is a little bit of a wild card. Sometimes he is really, really good. Sometimes he just does alright, which is also fine. And then Michaela, I think, is awesome to have on a team. Very good player to have. Especially as a bottom frag, Michaela is great. So, yeah, very fun team. Here's the freaking little templates, whatever, blah, 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 whatever, you know. And there's 5 more teams left. And all I will say is tomorrow will be fun. And that's all I can say without... Yeah, actually, no. That's... Yep. Keeping it there. Tomorrow will be fun. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Make sure to be there on stream tomorrow. I don't know, I'm on this tab. Tomorrow on stream, frickin' like an hour and a half before teams get announced, probably, which would be 10 a.m. EST, I think, 3 p.m. BST, or whatever British time it is. So yeah, make sure to be there. Alright, thank you all for watching, and goodbye!